Imagine a library so vast, it contains every scientific paper ever written, every experimental result, every published equation, stretching back to humanity's first recorded observations. Now, imagine an intelligence that can read it all, not just for established facts and confirmed theories, but for the faintest whispers of what might come next, the subtle hints of undiscovered principles. This isn't a distant dream. It's the cutting edge of artificial intelligence actively shaping the future of research and discovery, transforming how we understand the universe. This powerful new form of insight represents a fundamental shift in our approach to unlocking nature's deepest secrets, moving from reactive analysis to proactive exploration and guided intuition. For centuries, scientific leaps were primarily the product of human intuition, relentless experimentation, and sometimes sheer, unadulterated serendipity. A dedicated researcher might spend years, even a decade, chasing a single, elusive connection, meticulously refining hypotheses through painstaking trial and error. But the sheer volume and complexity of knowledge has exploded exponentially, far exceeding the capacity of any single human mind to absorb and synthesize. The old ways, while foundational and beautiful in their dedication, are no longer sufficient to navigate the sheer immensity and rapid acceleration of the modern scientific frontier. Today, the scientific landscape is a veritable blizzard of data. Fields like genomics, particle physics, astrophysics, and climate modeling each generate more information in a single year than a human mind could possibly process in multiple lifetimes, let alone comprehend fully. We are drowning in observations, experiments, and simulations, a digital tsunami of facts and figures. The critical challenge is no longer generating data, but finding the meaningful signal within this overwhelming, chaotic noise. This deluge of information, while promising incredible potential, often obscures the very discoveries it could readily reveal. This is precisely where artificial intelligence enters the modern laboratory, not as a disruptive replacement for human ingenuity, but as an unparalleled, tireless digital collaborator. Think of it as an infinitely patient assistant, capable of reviewing millions of research papers, experimental results, and vast datasets simultaneously, identifying connections invisible to us. It acts as a highly sophisticated filter, sifting through the immense digital haystack to find the needles of novel insight, prioritizing promising avenues for human exploration and experimentation. At its deepest core, this AI isn't merely searching for keywords or simple correlations in text. It's learning to understand the nuanced relationships between scientific concepts, the subtle dependencies, and the implicit logic that underpins discovery across disciplines. It identifies intricate patterns that might be too subtle, too abstract, or simply too numerous for even the most brilliant human eyes to ever detect. This involves sophisticated natural language processing and complex graph neural networks that map out the very structure of scientific knowledge itself. Consider the field of materials science. An AI can analyze the known properties of tens of thousands of chemical compounds and their documented interactions, learning the fundamental rules of chemistry and physics that govern their behavior. It can then predict, with remarkable statistical accuracy, which entirely untested combinations might spontaneously yield a material with specific, highly desired characteristics. Say, an alloy that is both significantly stronger and demonstrably lighter than anything currently available. It sifts through an astronomical number of possibilities, prioritizing the most promising candidates for synthesis and experimental validation. This predictive power isn't solely derived from brute force computation or simple data retrieval. These advanced models are trained on vast corpuses of scientific literature, from foundational textbooks to the most recent preprints and obscure conference proceedings. In doing so, they learn the language of science, the common methodologies, and crucially, the underlying logic of discovery itself. They learn what constitutes a valid hypothesis and how to construct one, absorbing the implicit rules that govern scientific inquiry across diverse disciplines, from quantum mechanics to cellular biology. It's remarkably akin to a seasoned detective who has meticulously studied every case file in history, absorbing not just the facts but the modus operandi. Such a detective doesn't just recall the details. They can infer potential motives, predict likely future scenarios based on past patterns, and even suggest who the culprit might be before all the direct evidence is fully assembled and presented. This AI, similarly, connects disparate clues across vast datasets to form a cohesive, predictive narrative about the natural world. In the high-stakes field of drug discovery, this translates directly into dramatically faster identification of potential therapeutic targets. Instead of painstakingly screening millions of individual molecules manually through laborious laboratory processes, an AI can efficiently sift through vast genetic data, intricate protein structures, and existing drug interactions to pinpoint the most promising candidates for further investigation and development. This acceleration can shave years off the crucial early stages of bringing life-saving medicines to those who need them most. Imagine a pharmaceutical company wanting to develop a new treatment for Alzheimer's. Instead of starting from scratch, an AI can scan the entire landscape of neurological research, identifying proteins already implicated in other brain diseases, noting genes that show subtle but significant correlations with cognitive decline, and cross-referencing this with known drug mechanisms that have shown promise in unrelated conditions. It suggests novel pathways and targets that human researchers might never have considered, simply due to the sheer breadth of information involved. This isn't about the AI thinking in a human sense or having conscious intent. Instead, it excels at pattern recognition at a scale and complexity that is simply beyond human cognitive limits. It's like trying to find a single, specific grain of sand on a vast beach by eye versus having a powerful, microscopic scanner that can identify its unique properties instantly. The AI is that scanner, processing the immense data beach to find a specific, scientifically relevant grain. These systems learn by being exposed to massive amounts of scientific text and data. They develop internal representations, mathematical structures that mirror the relationships between concepts. When presented with a new problem, like identifying a potential new material, the AI navigates these internal representations, extrapolating from known relationships to predict outcomes for novel combinations or scenarios. It's a form of highly sophisticated, data-driven analogy making, grounded in statistical inference. The output is often a ranked list of hypotheses or potential discoveries, accompanied by the statistical confidence in those predictions. It might suggest, investigate compound X for its superconductive properties, or consider protein Y as a target for treating condition Z. This provides scientists with a curated set of high-probability avenues, allowing them to focus their precious time and resources on the most promising leads, rather than casting a wide net of undirected experimentation. The impact is already being felt across numerous fields. In astrophysics, AI is analyzing telescope data to identify rare celestial phenomena or anomalies that might indicate new physics. In climate science, it's modeling complex feedback loops to improve the accuracy of future climate predictions. Even in areas like mathematics, AI is being used to discover new theorems or conjecture relationships that mathematicians can then prove. However, it's crucial to understand the limitations. This AI is a powerful tool for identifying potential discoveries based on existing knowledge, but it doesn't perform the actual experiments or generate truly novel, paradigm-shifting concepts out of thin air. It excels at interpolation and informed extrapolation within the bounds of its training data. Truly revolutionary breakthroughs, the kind that fundamentally rewrite our understanding, often still require that spark of human creativity, intuition, and the willingness to challenge established paradigms. For instance, an AI might suggest that a certain combination of elements could create a novel superconductor. It can predict this based on patterns in known materials, but it cannot independently conceive of a completely new fundamental force of nature that might enable a radical new form of energy generation, one for which no prior data exists to train it. The leap beyond existing knowledge remains a human domain, at least for now. The human researcher's role becomes one of critical evaluation and guided exploration. They use their deep domain expertise to filter the AI suggestions, to design the crucial experiments that will validate or refute a prediction, and to interpret the results in the broader context of scientific understanding. The AI provides direction, but the human provides judgment, creativity, and the ultimate validation through empirical evidence. It's a partnership, not a takeover. This partnership is vital for ensuring safety and ethical considerations in research. The AI can flag potential risks or unintended consequences based on its vast knowledge base, but it's the human scientist who must ultimately weigh these factors and make responsible decisions. Without human oversight, even the most powerful AI could lead research down paths that are scientifically interesting but ultimately detrimental or unethical. The process often involves iterative refinement. An AI might propose a hypothesis, an experiment is run, and the results are fed back into the system. This new data refines the AI's understanding, allowing it to generate even more precise and relevant predictions for the next iteration. This continuous feedback loop accelerates the entire discovery process, moving from hypothesis generation to validation in rapid cycles. Think of it like a sculptor working with a highly intelligent, responsive clay. The AI suggests shapes and forms based on an understanding of aesthetics and structure, but the sculptor's hands guide the process, adding detail, texture, and that final artistic touch. The clay can offer possibilities, but it's the sculptor who brings the masterpiece into being through their skill and vision. The challenge now lies in making these powerful tools accessible and understandable to a broader scientific community. Not every lab has access to the massive computational resources or the specialized AI expertise required to deploy these models. Efforts are underway to develop more user-friendly interfaces and cloud-based platforms that democratize access, allowing more researchers to leverage this transformative technology. Furthermore, we must continually refine the training data and methodologies to avoid biases. If the historical scientific literature is skewed towards certain theories or demographics, the AI will inevitably learn and perpetuate those biases. Ensuring diverse and representative training data is paramount to unlocking AI's full potential for objective and equitable scientific advancement. The ultimate goal isn't to replace human scientists, but to augment their capabilities. By handling the immense burden of data analysis and pattern recognition, AI frees up human intellect for higher-level thinking, creativity, critical evaluation, and the formulation of entirely new questions. It allows us to explore scientific frontiers that were previously inaccessible due to sheer complexity or scale. This AI represents a profound shift in how we conduct science. It moves us from a model of individual discovery, often siloed and serendipitous, to a more systematic, data-driven, and collaborative approach. It's about building upon the collective knowledge of humanity, amplified by intelligent algorithms, to achieve faster, more profound insights. The journey is far from over. As AI models become more sophisticated, their ability to understand complex scientific reasoning and to propose novel hypotheses will only grow. We are on the cusp of an era where AI acts not just as an assistant, but as a true intellectual partner in the grand human endeavor of scientific exploration, pushing the boundaries of what we know and what we can achieve. This technology is already revolutionizing how we uncover new medicines, design advanced materials, and understand the cosmos. It's transforming the very engine of scientific progress, accelerating our journey of discovery at an unprecedented rate. The insights it offers are not magic, but the result of meticulous engineering and a deep understanding of how to translate vast datasets into actionable knowledge. The critical question for us all is how we choose to wield this new power. As AI becomes more integrated into the fabric of research, ensuring responsible development, equitable access, and clear human oversight will be paramount. Understanding the mechanisms and limitations, as we've begun to do here, is the first step towards guiding this powerful tool for the benefit of humanity. Explaining how AI can genuinely accelerate scientific discovery, digging into the actual mechanisms beyond the headlines, took considerable effort. If you found this explanation valuable, a like and a subscription are what make this work possible.